Hey everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about an icon. An icon that has, for better luck of a term, become almost one of the biggest gaming, food, fashion, and film channels in the world. And tonight I am talking about Matpat and the people on game theory. Specifically, we're talking about the man that started it all and his family. I will be saying my goodbyes, but first, let's jump back. When I talk about inspirations of YouTubers, I talk about people like Papa Jake, the Dern Brothers, Colorshed Studios, people of that caliber. These guys have gotten me into a lot of different things. One was my creativity, Papa Jake mainly. I started building cardboard stuff all the time, and then that transformed into me trying to building skateboards and having fun with it. And also building my own ramps, which you have probably seen in a couple different videos. Now, the other thing is the gaming side of me. I've done some gaming videos, but they have been since deleted. I never could finish a series, ever. And I don't know if we will ever do a gaming video on this channel. We'll think about it, but we're also discussing a podcast in the works. Something of that will come to fruition eventually, but we will have to wait and see what happens. But Colorshed Studios has reviewed games and played them on his Patreon page. He inspired me to do a review of Need for Speed Unbound, which sucked, but it was the first video I fully edited with music, voiceover, and stuff like that, and that's what made it special to me. The Dern Brothers, they inspired me to go out, skate, and get involved with the community, as well as the skateboarding here at home. There's a big community around here, and these are the people that I look up to, including the game theorists, Matt, Pat, Steph, and, these people. Matt Pat has been the face of the channel for 13 years. And he inspired me to do a lot of things. I started looking into history of games and other stuff like that. And he inspired me to become a YouTuber as a whole. So looking at it now, this would be a big undertaking for me to create videos and try to get people. I can't post on a regular basis like he could because I have work, I have a job, and even though the odds were stacked up against him, he ended up creating one of the biggest video channels ever made, and he is one of the idols that made this channel into what it is today. And we are going to talk about him tonight. Tonight is sad. Tonight is a sad night. It is March 9th. It is currently 10:43 at night as of the recording. And tonight was the very last video of game theory that Matpat will be hosting. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, why am I doing a video on this? I thought this was a skateboarding channel. Well, I'm bringing this up because he was one of the main people that inspired me to get into filming. And I think it would be wrong, to me anyway, to not at least say something. And we will be doing that very thing tonight. As I go over what has transpired in the last few months to get to where we are now. And I will have this video done before midnight. So, to bring you all up to speed, on January 9th of this year, Matpat posted a video called Goodbye Internet. And to summarize it all up, he says he's going to retire from hosting duties and hand the channel off, or the 4 channels that he has made, off to 4 different people that have worked with him, and he's going to focus on his family. And now, I have no problem with Matpat retiring. In fact, I think that he deserves it. He started his channel in 2009, and he's grown it in over a decade. And I think he deserves, rightfully, the retirement that he deserves. He deserves time to focus on his family. He's in his 30s, late 30s, if I remember correctly. You know, he is one of the best gaming theory channels I have ever seen. He was different than a lot of gaming channels, and it wasn't gaming. It was more theorizing on games, and that's what made me go for his videos over time. My favorite videos were the Resident Evil videos. The one with the VR port of Resident Evil 4 talking about the Lost Plagas parasite, and the T-Virus for Resident Evil 2. And, you know, I loved those videos, including the one that he did summarizing the FNAF timeline. And I've watched him for a while. I didn't watch a lot of the FNAF theories because I was scared of jump scares and stuff like that, but I watched a few others. One on I've watched the 2 on The Last of Us, and a few other things, including some stuff in film theory and like that. You know, now he puts out a video and then he says he's retiring. And when that happened, a lot of people were talking about this. And it has finally come to fruition. So, what does this mean for him and the people that have worked on this? It's sad, yes, to see him go. But at the same time, he's earned it. He's earned it. Because he has brought us so much content without a break for years. He's earned this right, and he's been doing this for a decade, and I have a lot of respect for the guy. I really do. And occurring with the trend with a few other YouTube creators that I can't remember the names of, 2 in particular, I think that him leaving game theory or retiring from hosting duties is something that would happen eventually. Now, have your own opinion on that, but, you know, I think that this is a good way to pass the torch. I may not be happy seeing him go. Because he's been here for all these years. And now to see him finally, retire, it's sad. When I saw that video 8 hours ago, to the letter, I saw it when it first came out. It was 33 minutes old. I watched the entire video. And honestly, I cried a little. I did because he has brought us so much. And he brought us a lot of joy, man. He has given so many people good memories and a few other things, But as I stated before, he needs this. He needs to progress in his life. He has a kid. Like I said earlier, he's in his late 30s. He has a long life ahead of him. And to not feel what he's feeling and not, say, hey, I hope life gets better from here. Sure, he left at the peak of his popularity, but I think this was a good move for a few different reasons. One, it's the perfect time to pass on the torch. And the other thing is, kids don't stay young forever. As I said earlier, he has a child, and you want to see that kid grow up. You don't want to be, oh, I got to do this, this, and this, and, not spend any time. You wouldn't want that to happen to you, right? And I sympathize with that because it's, inevitable. It's inevitable. And we see that happen, and he's not leaving the channel, he's helping it grow. Eventually, it would have been his time anyway. But now that he's laying out some new stuff for the channels as well as, these new guys, we see what is going to happen. Maybe we'll see some new stuff. Maybe we'll see what is going to change game theory and the theorist channels as a whole. We might see some better things. We might see some more theories. And maybe Matpat will even come back for a few of them. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's taken this step to be with his family. Because not a lot of people do that. A lot of people don't. And the people that do are the greatest people that you will ever know. And a good example of this was a video channel. They reviewed movies, or he did. He reviewed movies. He was Fedora. Fedora was a video review. He reviewed movies. I've seen a few. My favorites were Joyride 1 and 2. Joyride 2 and 3. Sorry. He quit YouTube to focus on his family. And I have nothing but respect for these people. Because a lot of people get developed by their work. They really do. And nobody really understands what would happen if that wasn't said. But in all seriousness, he's made a great move. And I thank him for that. And this man I look up to because he inspired me to get into history and stuff like that. And I'll explain. So as my life went on, I've had anger issues and stuff like that, but I always had a curiosity, a big one. And I don't absorb information like other people. I can't read and absorb it that quickly unless, it's something that I'm enjoyed in. Because I have autism, which means if you watch this stuff and you actually go through it and you love it, you will absorb energy like that. I got into the history of games because of Matpat in a few different perspectives. I got into history, I got into games that have lore. Resident Evil was a good example. I followed the story through different channels, but I loved it. Like, he loved diving into games that had lore that you had to explore. Five Nights at Freddy's was a good example. And for me, that was what made him appeal to me. I got into history and stuff like that, especially with games. He also gave inspiration to a lot of different people. There's a bunch of things that I could say, and everything that I say, I have nothing but respect for him. I really don't. I really do. I really do. But, nothing can compare to watching someone leave that you've watched. So now, I want to talk about how I feel about this whole thing and what this means to me as someone who has seen most of this stuff and has made an impact. So, game theory, Matpat especially, has made his mark on my life on more than one occasion. And he has given a lot of people that sense of wanting to find stuff. And he gave me the courage to dig into big info and stuff like that to basically make and talk about history and stuff like that. Even though I've never made a history video on this before. I've done some gaming videos inspired by him and other content creators, and he's given more of a meaning to the term theorist than any other channel I know. So, this is a message for Matpat directly, and this is my final message to him at 11:01, March 9th. This is the legacy that you have left behind, and a lot of people love it. Keep doing what you're doing. We will never forget you. We are your people, and my family, my friends, we love your content, and we hope you bring more, and we hope you enjoy your family life with your kid and your wife, Steph, and keep making the channel of Game Theory what it is today. We have a lot of respect for you, and you will always live on in our hearts. We are theorists, and you are the one who started it all. And that is the end of my message to him. Hopefully he sees it. But, like I said before, I'm running out of time. So, to the game theory community and the game theory channels, I hope that this change will make game theory better as a whole and make a new chapter in this channel's story. Matpat worked so hard, and he couldn't have done the best thing, and that is focus on your family. And I think that he did the right thing. He really is an inspiration. He will always be an inspiration. And in the words of Matpat himself, that's just a theory. A game theory! Thanks for watching. Now, this is the end of my video. And Matpat, thank you so much, man. See you in the near future. Peace. And game theorists, keep on researching. Have a good night. Skate or die.